Okay, first and foremost, I'd like to give all praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Bahashem, Rakah Kwadash. Double honor to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, and salutation to you Akim out there that's pushing this word in truth and sincerity. Today is the first day of Unga, otherwise known as the UN General Assembly, which is the 73rd year annual meeting that's been held by all the elite of all the nations throughout the four corners of the earth, man. And they get together in the United Nations downtown in New York City, and they consult on what's going on the affairs of the world, man. And they also consult on how they're going to further do away and suppress you Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Americans, man. That's an ongoing thing. And before the United Nations was formed, after World War I, they tried to form the League of Nations. But all these other nations wasn't having that, man, because they was trying to bring all the nations together, so to speak. And they called it the League of Nations. Right after World War I, which was from 1914 to 1918 or 1919, if I'm not mistaken. But I know the war only lasted like 4 to 5 years. But right after that, they tried to bring together a league of, they tried to form something called a League of Nations. And it didn't fall through because these nations was not trying to hear that shit. So right after World War II, see, the elites gathered themselves back together and they started working their wickedness. And what happened after World War II, they formed something called the United Nations, man. So guess what? They still got their agenda across, so to speak, man, by forming the United Nations. And it's been the 73rd year since the United Nations has been formed, and what's been going on? A lot of fuckery. Right now, they consulting about North Korea, Syria, Iraq, Iran. They consulting against why Russia sold China fighter jets and missiles. Also, they're consulting why Russia is selling S-300 Scud missile, S-300, which is a missile defense system. They sold it to Iraq, Iran. So they selling these missiles, man, these missile defense systems, man. So what they doing is they're getting together and they're consulting the world affairs, man. All the prime ministers, the dictators, the chancellors, the presidents. Then you got this fucking nasty looking bitch, Nikki Haley, which is the UN ambassador, promoting all this wickedness, man. And that's straight out of order. She shouldn't even be there, man. Now I'm going to pose this question. There's no seat there for you Negroes, Hispanics, Native Americans, man. Not at all. You know why? They're consulting against y'all, man. And there's scriptures to prove that. Abba Ratazah, you Akim out there that's sincere, will be edified, man. Because there's multiple scriptures out there letting you know that Esau and all the rest of these nations are conspiring against you Negroes, Hispanics, Native American to cut you off, man. To do away with y'all. Because these nations know that we are the sons of Israel, man. Bunyam Yasharallah, the sons of Israel. These nations know. But they ain't going to tell you. They're going to continue letting you be a nigga, a spick, an Uncle Tomahawk, and whatever else you call yourselves, man. Muslims, atheists, Kemet. And they're going to consult against y'all. So I'm not going to babble on no more. I'm going to get into these scriptures. Like I said, Abba Ratazah, you Akim out there that's sincere will be edified, man. This is Psalms, the 2nd chapter, the 1st verse. Why do the heathen rage And the people imagine a vain thing. Who are the heathen, other nations, man? And all the people of the other nations are imagining the vain thing. They're imagining that they're going to do away with the sons of Israel. Starting with Judah, which is the head tribe, on down to Issachar, man. They want to do away with y'all. First and foremost, they want to do away with y'all by pandemics, famine, all kind of diseases shooting you down. They don't care two fucks about you Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Americans, man. They want to do away with y'all. That's why it says in Psalms, the second chapter, the first verse, why do the heathen rage? The heathens are the other nations, man. Starting with Esau on down, man. And the people imagine a vain thing. The kings of the earth set themselves, and the rulers take counsel together. And how are they taking counsel together? That UN General Assembly, man, which take place yearly, man. This is 73rd annual UN General Assembly, and they call it UNGA. All these nations are getting together, all these top dignitaries, from the presidents, the prime ministers, the dictators, the chancellors, and whatever you fancy to call them. They get together in the UN, set up their prospective seats, represent their prospective countries, and they consult the world's affairs, man. They get together and they conspire against you Negroes, Hispanics, Native Americans, man. What pestilence or what disease they're going to put out there to destroy the Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Americans, man. What tactics they're going to use. How they're going to bring forth their new world order. It says, the kings of the earth set themselves and the rulers take counsel together against the Lord and against his anointed ones. Who are the anointed ones? First and foremost, it's starting with the 1/3 of you Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Americans. The 1/3, the first fruits of the governing body of the sons of Israel, man. The tabernacle of David was being built back up. It says, verse 3, let us break their bands asunder and cast away their cords from us. And that happened, man. From 70 AD up until now, man. We have been scattered off the four corners of the earth. We have been broken up as a nation of people. Now we call ourselves Negroes, Hispanics, Native Americans, Jamaicans, Mexicans, Brazilians. No, we are the sons of Israel from our prospective tribes, from the tribe of Judah on down to Benjamin, Levi, Simeon, Ephraim, on down to Issachar, man. We are the sons of Israel. But Esau, the so-called white man, and his confederates, which were the other nations, have conspired against us. And that's why we're in the situation we're in right now. Every nation, all 17 nations had a hand in enslaving the sons of Israel, man. You think they're not going to pay? Verse 4, he that sitteth in the heavens, which is Yahweh, why Yahweh Shah, shall laugh. The Lord Yahweh shall have them in derision. And that's coming, man. You see what's going on in the Middle East right now, man, right? Esau is in derision. From Afghanistan to Iraq, to Iran, to Yemen, Esau is in a state of derision, a state of confusion. Because, and in Syria right now, they didn't anticipate, you see, back in 2000, they came up with a plan called PNAC, Project of a New American Century, where they're going to take down 7 nations in 5 years, or even 5, it was 7 nations in 5 years. Iraq, Egypt, Yemen, Libya, I think it was 5 nations in 7 years, I'm not mistaken. or even 7 nations in 5 years. Iraq, which they took down. Afghanistan, which they took down. Libya, which they took down. Yemen, which they took down. Egypt, which they took down. And also Syria and Iran. But they didn't anticipate the Syrians being a hard nut to crack, man. So once they, and right now they in Syria, if they conquer Syria, they're going straight for Iran, which is prophecy. Hence, the war of Armageddon, because all these other nations that's backing Iran and their allies is going to get involved with that, man. But back to the UN General Assembly and all they fuckery and how they coming up against and conspiring against the sons of Israel, man. It says, verse 5, then shall he speak, Yahweh, this is he's talking about Yahweh, then shall he speak unto them is the other nations from Esau on down. Then shall he speak unto them in his wrath. What is going to be his wrath? Thermonuclear destruction. Concentrated fire from them chariots. Laser beams from them chariots. And vex them in his sore displeasure. Thermonuclear destruction, and at the very same time, simultaneously, laser beams from them chariots. You cannot get around it. So keep on consulting against the Lord and his hidden ones, which are the Israelites, the 1/3 of the governing body. It's not going to get you anywhere, man. You're going to get fucked up. This is Psalms chapter, let me get it real quick. Show you who's confederate against us, man. All these nations that's confederate against us, that's consulting together, all the heathen that's raging, pursuant to Psalms, the 2nd chapter, the 1st verse on down to the 5th verse, all these nations that's raging and that's imagining the vain thing is Esau and the rest of these nations, man, that's confederate against us, man. This is Psalms, the 83rd chapter, Psalms 83 verse 1. And this is a psalm of Asaph, man. Asking the Lord, praying to the Lord, keep not silence. Because all these nations are coming up against us, man. From Esau to Ishmael, on down to the Hamites, and all the rest of the nations, man, that want to do away with Israel. Because we are the apple of the Lord's eye. We are a peculiar people. The chosen ones. So they figure if they do away with us and scatter us and kill us off, hey, there's no more chosen ones. But the Most High is laughing. Because that's not going to happen. Like he said, if you could find out that the heights of the heaven or the depths of the sea, he would do away with Israel for all their wickedness, man. But you're not going to do that. That's why Esau is in the outer space. Esau is the so-called white man is in the obits, the depths of, exploring the depths of the sea, trying to figure out the heights of the heaven and the depths of the sea, so the Most High can keep his word and do away with the sons of Israel. But that's not going to happen, man. It's not going to happen. And this is a psalm of Asaph, Psalms 83 and 1. Keep not thou silence, O Yahweh, hold not thy peace, and be not still, O Yahweh, for lo, thy enemies, which are all the other nations from Esau on down, make a turmoil. What's that turmoil, man? They're getting together and consulting against the hidden ones, are consulting against the sons of Israel. That turmoil is pestilence, which are diseases, finding out ways to do away with the sons of Israel, man. And they that hate thee have lifted up the head. All these nations hate Yahweh, Yahweh Shai, and the sons of Israel, man. There's not one nation that love you Negroes, Hispanics, Native Americans, man. And it's going to explain all the nations it's going to tell you all the nations that's confederate against you to do away with y'all, man. But you Negroes love the white man. You Negroes love the Ishmaelites, who are the so-called Arabs, man. You love the Hamites, man. Want to be Kemet, becoming Muslim, Salam alaikum Aki. Them niggas don't give a fuck about you. Don't they do? Them Arabs do? Them Ishmaelites do? They fuck your women and laugh behind your back when you come in the store, man. That's what them Ishmaelites do. It says, Psalm chapter 83 verse 2. For lo means for look. Lo means look, for lo. Thine enemies make a turmoil, and they that hate thee have lifted up their head. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people and consulted against thy hidden ones. The hidden ones are the 1/3 of the sons of Israel, man. The apostles and the prophets, the teachers, the elders, the first fruits of the sons of Israel, the tabernacle of David. They had taken crafty counsel. What's that crafty counsel? Their new world order, man. Power structure, man. That great dystopia that they have set up for you Negroes, Hispanics, Native Americans. Taking that RFID microchip. That's the crafty counsel that they have taken against the hidden ones, against the sons of Israel. That new world order power structure. What they have planned, man. Microchipping the whole earth, man. Doing away with the Georgia Guidestones, man. Doing away with half of the population of the earth. Do pestilence, do famine, do riots, do wars. That's that crafty counsel that they have taken. It says, they have taken crafty counsel against thy people. Who's thy people? Talking about the sons of Israel, from you Negroes, Hispanics, Native Americans, on down to Issachar, man. The 1/3, the first fruits. It says, verse 4, they have said, come and let us cut them off from being a nation. And that happened in 70 AD, man. From the onslaught of the Romans. We have been cut off from being a nation. We've been scattered up the four corners of the earth, man. And heathens are inhabiting the land of the sons of Israel. They tell you that in Ezekiel, the 36th chapter, the second verse of my mind, if I'm mistaken. But I'm not gonna quote that. I'm just gonna let me see. I'm gonna get that. I don't wanna be off on that. Ezekiel, the 26th chapter, or the 36. Let me see. Let me just find it real quick. Baba Kashar, bear with me. Bear with me real quick. 32. Well, that scripture escaped me real quick. It escaped my memory. I think it's Ezekiel 36, 32, if I'm not mistaken. Forgive me, brethren, for making that mistake. But nevertheless, they said, we have taken high places, so to speak, man, roughly paraphrasing it. They have taken control of the high places, man. They took it since 70 AD. We have been dispersed as a nation, and Esau, namely Amalek, have taken control of the land, man. So you see what I'm saying? That's part of the crafty counsel they have taken against us, man. They took our land. We've been scattered abroad. We are considered Negroes, Hispanics, Native Americans. We are not considered in this society the sons of Israel. So that's one form of doing away with a nation, man. They cast us off, and now they gave us that government cast of Negro, Hispanic, Native American. So therefore, we are destroyed as a people, but the Most High is raising up the tabernacles of David, man. The 1/3. And this truth is flourishing, man. So that's why every year the UN is a UN General Assembly where they get together and they consult on the further oppressors that keep us down and to further keep us blinded from who we really are, man. It says, back in Psalms 83 verse 4, they have said, come and let us. It says, come, Slakia. Psalms 83 verse 4, they have said, come and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel be no more in remembrance. For they have consulted together with one consent what's going on in that UN General Assembly. And not only the UN General Assembly, the Bilderberg Group, the Bohemian Grove, but the UN General Assembly is the cake, man, that is the takes all, man. Because you got all these dignitaries, all these nations coming together to consult the world affairs, man. And you Negroes, Hispanics, Native Americans are not invited. Y'all don't have a seat. You're the prey. But you love the white man. You love the Chinese man. You want to be a Hamite, a so-called African. You love them Arabs, man. Them Ishmaelites that be fucking your women for loose cigarettes, for Lucy's, and for credit. They laugh behind your back. But you love them Negroes. But you love Slaki, but you love them other nations, them heathen nations, man. Them smelly Arab bastards. You love the so-called white man. It says, back in Psalms 83 verse 5, for they have consulted together with one consent, they are confederate against thee, the tabernacle, and then that's going to explain all the nation that's coming up against you, Negroes, Hispanics, Native Americans, man. It says, for they have consulted together with one consent, they are confederate against thee, the tabernacles of Edom, first and foremost, the tabernacles of Edom, and the Ishmaelites, some Arabs, that's fucking your women for loose seeds, for credit, for blunt veils, for sandwiches, of Moab, them so-called Chinese, and the Hagarenes, which are the sect of the Hamites. Salaki, brothers, which are the sect of the Hamites, Gibbo and Ammon and Amalek, which are them gutter rats dwelling in our land as we speak, man, as I'm speaking right now. It says, the Philistines, which are the sect of the Hamites, and the inhabitants of Tyre, man. All these nations are confederate against you Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Americans, and they mean you no good. They want to do away with you. Wipe you off the face of the earth. This is real talk. What you think was going on in the UN General Assembly? What you think be going on in the Bohemian Grove, in the Bilderberg Group? They mainly consulting against you Negroes, Hispanics, Native Americans, to do away with you, to further oppress you, to further keep you in darkness. What do you think was going on, man? Behind closed doors. These are all the nations, man, that is coming against y'all. And it's been named, all the nations have been named in Psalms the 83rd chapter. Let me tell you something, man. These scriptures are bad. You tell me these scriptures are not being brought forth to light, man? You mean to tell me these scriptures not on point? All these nations are confederate against you Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Americans. And that's a fact, man. I just brought out all the nations that was confederate against y'all. From Edom on down up to Tyre and Ashur. Ashur are them Assyrians, man. All confederate against the sons of Israel. All confederate against the sons of Israel. I'm beginning to close it out. I got a few more scriptures. This is Psalms, the 64th chapter, the 2nd verse. It says, hide me. This is a Psalm of David. Psalm 62:2. Hide me from the secret counsel of the wicked. Who are the wicked? Pursuant to Malachi, the 1st chapter, the 2nd and the 4th, going the first chapter, the 2nd verse on down, man, to the 4th verse explains who are the wicked. It says, hide me from the secret counsel of the wicked. The earth was given into the hands of the wicked. Who run the earth? Job 9:24. Who run this wicked ass society right now? Is it not Esau, the so-called white man, who is the wicked? It says, hide me from the secret counsel of the wicked. What's their secret counsel? The Illuminati power structure. First and foremost, consulting how they're going to do away with Israel and the rest of those Israelites that they don't do away with, how they're going to enslave them by giving them an RFID microchip implanted in their hand on their forehead to track them and enslave them, to make them a perpetual slave. It says, hide me, back in Psalm 64:2, hide me from the secret counsel of the wicked, from the insurrection of the workers of iniquity. Who are the workers of iniquity? Is not that Esau, the so-called white man? And all the rest of the nation that's confederate with Esau? I just read who's confederate with Esau against you Negroes, Hispanics, Native Americans in Psalms the 83rd chapter, the 1st verse on down. You Negroes, Hispanics, Native Americans better wake up, man. Because Esau, the so-called white man, and the rest of these nations don't mean you niggas no good, man. They don't give two fucks about you Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Americans. They want to do away with y'all. That's why they look down upon you Negroes, you Hispanics, you Native Americans. That's why they do the things they do to y'all. It says, verse 3, who wet their tongues, wet means to sharpen their tongues, like a sword, and bend their bows to shoot their arrows, even bitter words, man. Calling you nigga. Them bitter words they spew, when it says who wet their tongue, like a sword, and bend their bows. It says, and bend their bows and shoot their arrows, even bitter words. Who do you think was going on in that UN General Assembly? What do you think would take place in the Bohemian Grove? What do you think take place when they held them Bilderberg groups, man? them Bilderberg meetings, man. They consulting against you Negroes. Bitter words. How they gonna do away with y'all? How they gonna entrap y'all? How they gonna enslave y'all? How they gonna get you Negroes to sell your souls and bow down to them? Bitter words. That they may shoot in secret at the perfect. Who are the perfect? It started with the elect of the sons of Israel. The 144,000, man, the 1/3. That's what it's starting with. It says that they may shoot in secret at the perfect. Suddenly do they shoot at them and fear not. They encourage themselves in an evil matter. That evil matter is that New World Order power structure. They encourage themselves in an evil matter by spreading them pandemics, them diseases, man. Cancer, AIDS. Cancer was injected in you Hispanics to destroy you. AIDS was put into bad aspirin and put out there to destroy you Negroes, Hispanics, Native Americans. These are pestilence that was put out there to destroy you, to get rid of you, man. They encourage themselves in evil matter. They commune of laying snares privately. What's part of them snares? Getting you to sell your soul, do them contracts that's in Hollywood, them rap contracts, being a comedian, getting these government positions, selling your soul, man. They encourage themselves in an evil matter. They commune of laying snares privately. A snare is a trap that they say, who shall see them? They search out iniquities. They accomplish a diligent search, both the inward thoughts of every one of them, and the heart is deep. Because they dig out the deep, deep, treacherous ways how to ensnare and entrap you Negroes, man. Hispanics, Native Americans. Get you all fucked up in the game with the drugs. You name it, they doing it. Last scripture. This is Proverbs chapter 21, verse 30. It says, Proverbs 21, verse 30. There is no wisdom, nor understanding, nor counsel against the Lord. So Esau, continue all your fuckery, the Bilderberg meetings, the Bohemian Grove, the UN General Assembly that you call UNGA. All that shit is going to come to naught, because the Most High is going to destroy you. Your New World Order, Illuminati power structure is going to come to naught. Keep on consulting against the hidden ones, which are the Israelites, the sons of Israel, starting with the 144,000, the 1/3 from the apostles on down. It's not going to get you nowhere. The only place you going is to the slave pit. The only place you Edomites and the rest of you nations and the 2/3 where our people is going, you're going to be slaughtered through thermonuclear destruction. And you elite crackers that's going to escape that thermonuclear destruction, you're going to be the first fruits of slaves. You motherfucking red bastards. I'm going to read it again so it can sink into your fucking red ass ears, you cracker bastards. You stupid 2/3 who follow the ways of Esau. It says, there is no wisdom, nor understanding, nor counsel against the Lord Yahweh. You know why? Because the Lord Yahweh created all you nations that's coming up against the chosen ones, the apple of his eye. He created all you nations. So there's no counsel that all you nations get together and conspire against the hidden ones, which are the Israelites, starting with the 1/3, the 144,000, the governing body, the first fruits. There's no counsel that you can come up with. There's no snares that you can lay. There's no fuckery that you can put out there that's going to ensnare and trap the 1/3 of the governing body, the first fruits, the sons of Israel, the 144,000, from the apostles on down to the elders and the elect of Israel. There's no counsel against the Lord's people. It says, I'm going to read it again. There is no wisdom, nor understanding, nor counsel against the Lord. For the Lord created you niggas, all you races out there, all you nations out there, the Lord created y'all. So how you going to have counsel against the Lord? How you going to get some kind of understanding against the Lord, man? It's not going to happen. So all that you in the gym, so that you in General Assembly and whatever you're consulting against the Lord's people, it's not going to. It's going to be. It's bullshit. It's not going to come to pass. Your time is up, Esau. And all you nations that's joined under Esau, you're going to get your just due. You're going to fall right along with the so-called white man. Right along with your imps and your gimps that's a part of the 2/3. And with that, I'm going to say shalom. Once again, I'm going to give all praise to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Bahashem Rakakwadash. And once again, double honor to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone. Salutation, you Akim out there. That's sincere. Abba Ratazah, you was edified. And with that, to the next one, shalom.